Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to APPT Manila Open 2025 press conference organized by Padel Pilipinas. This is the first international tournament hosted by Padel Pilipinas this year. So let us meet our key representatives. Asia Pacific Padel Tour APPT Director, Mr. David Maxwell. APPT CEO and co-founder, Carlos Carrillo. From Padel Pilipinas, we have Attorney Jacqueline Gan, our Executive Director. And our national team captain, LA Canizares. Our head coach from Play Paddle, Mr. Bryan Casao. Our APPT top seeded players representative, Tao Yi Tan, number 2 APPT Women's Pro and number 2 in Philippine ranking. Our additional panel from our major sponsor of APPT, JOMA, Ms. Yeyen. Welcome to everyone. We are now going to call Mr. Carlos Carrillo for the opening remarks.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So as he perfectly introduced, we are going to have a APPT tournament here in Philippines for the first time this year. And we are super excited for this to happen. So I'm going to just talk a bit for the ones that they don't know us. What do we do, what we stand for, and why we exist. And basically, APPT is Asia Pacific Padel Tour. We are now considered the best or the biggest tournament in Asia Pacific. We run paddle events in 2 categories. In the pro category, where they pursue prize money. In this case, is $10,000. And then the amateur category, where we aim to bring as many people as possible, and that we combine both of them within the same event that is going to start from tomorrow on until Sunday. And basically, here our goal is to promote paddle. That I know in these countries is still new, and we are still doing a big effort to get to know and to educate what is this sport, which is a racket sport that it's fun, it's social, and it's easy to learn. And I think we are doing a great thing, and thanks to our partners, stakeholders in this, like our sponsors, best players, federations, club, we are getting to this goal of making this sport big and spreading it through these countries. So yeah, basically this is our goal, to set paddle as an important sport in those countries, and especially in Philippines this time. And we are super happy to be here and to share all this good level, fun, and professionalism with all of you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Carlos Carrillo. Now for our APPT introduction and tournament overview, may we call on APPT Director, Mr. David Maxwell.
Hello. Yeah, just following on from what Carlos was saying, super excited to be here in Manila. This is the second time that the APPT has visited the city. The second tournament, I believe, ever of the APPT. Early last year was hosted in Manila, but this is the first time we are at Play Paddle, and delighted to be here. We have about 100 teams playing over the weekend. As Carlos said, the pros competing for money, the amateurs for prizes, thanks to JOMA, one of our main sponsors this year. And yeah, just hoping to have a great weekend, really showcase the sport, have a lot of fun. We have a lot of great representation from the local Filipino paddle community, so hugely grateful for the support of this club and of the community for coming out and playing in this tournament. And we have a lot of players who are flying in from all across Asia Pacific and Europe for the event as well. So I think about 25 to 30 nationalities playing, which is really cool. And yeah, just really excited for a great event. It's our 3rd event of the year. We had 2 events already in Thailand. This is our first of 2 events in the Philippines. Next week we will head to Batangas. for the Palm Beach Club. So excited to be there also. And then you never know, hopefully return to Philippines later in the year for more APPT events if things go to plan.
Thank you, APPT Director, Mr. David Maxwell. Now let's hear a few words from Padel Pilipinas Executive Director, Attorney Jacqueline Gan.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for actually gracing us with your time and presence to know about what the event is all about that we're doing this weekend. So, as mentioned, we are hosting Padel Pilipinas as the official national sports association of the Philippines, recognized by both the Philippine Olympic Committee and the Philippine Sports Commission. Is actually very privileged and pleasured to actually be hosting the first international tournament of this year, and it's the Asia Pacific Paddle Tour. It's actually a pleasure and a privilege for us, and it's an honor because Asia Pacific Paddle Tour is one of the best, if not the best, and the biggest in Asia Pacific region. Yeah. So this weekend we will be actually welcoming around 100 plus teams, and at the same time from more than 20 different nationalities. And I know most of you are already here in our different tournaments nationally and locally. And you're maybe wondering what is the difference between the APPT Paddle Tour and also our national and local tournaments, right? Because in our national tournaments, we are also joined by international players. The main difference is that we have here the Asia Pacific Paddle Tour themselves who are organizing this tournament, and we are just co-hosting it alongside with Play Paddle as the official tournament venue. So we trust these guys because they know their job and they do it really well. So we are excited to actually welcome it here. And also, one of the key differences of the APPT Tour from our national and local tournaments is when you join an APPT competition or tournament, you get to have international rankings from the APPT, right? Is that correct? Yeah. So we're very honored that we will be hosting it alongside Play Paddle, the home of the national team. And we're just very glad that you are all with us today. We hope that you can cover some of our games from tomorrow until Sunday. So that's it.
Thank you, Padel Pilipinas Executive Director, Attorney Jackie Gan. We now open the floor for questions from our friends from the press.
Hi, good afternoon. The question is for Tawi.
Tawi.
Okay.
Hi,
As,
Jean.
hello. As the Philippines number one, so you have a rank in the APP tour. What is your ranking there?
Number 2 in
Number-
APPT.
Okay, so we expect like, do you expect to win? Because because we're hosting, we're hosting this leg. So do we expect the Filipinos to win in this tournament?
So, sorry, come again?
Do we expect our local players, I mean local players in the tournament to win the leg, the Manila Open?
I think there's no expectation, but of course we play to win, and there are more Filipinos joining this APPT Manila, so I think hopefully we're gonna strive harder and more Filipinos gonna win this competition. My current partner is Mariam Garcin.
To Mr. Carlos Carrillo, please. There has been a rapid growth of APPT in at least 10 countries. What has been so far been done? Why is this so rapid development of the sports in at least 10 countries?
So I guess you will be surprised of how it's growing because I am too. So it's over the expectations that we had in terms of everything, I will say, in terms of how brands they are looking at us, how players they come to our events that is happening that we are sold out, so we don't have a space for more teams in the events. The visibility, the reach that we are having, so we are pretty happy with a short time because this was created in 2023, late 2023, so it's haven't been running for a long time. How attachment or the engagement that is generating, it goes higher and higher, and this is super nice to see. And hopefully it's going to get in the same direction in the following years.
With the inclusion of Manila as one of the stops, what can we expect as part of this development of Padel in the country, in the Philippines? What do you think?
Sorry, about what?
With the inclusion of Manila as one of the stops, one of the hosts of the APPT,
Another good question, because I have super good or high expectations with the Philippines, because I see it's a super sportive country. So if we get to encourage the community to understand what this sport implies, it's going to be a big and important sport that actually is going to be soon in the Olympics, so we hope so. So we want to pretend or to prepare the young generations to be able to become relevant in the future. So I think still we are in a super early stage also in Philippines, but if we get to organize from the scratch good the community, the local competitions, and you, as you were saying, I think there's a bright future here to grow the sport.
Hello, good afternoon. I have a question for APPT Director David Maxwell. The tour has expanded to 12 events this year. What challenges have come with this growth, and how is APPT managing them?
What challenges?
Yeah, what challenges are you facing? How are you managing them?
Yeah, challenges. Well, we have some, of course. So yeah, the fact we are still in our infancy, and as Carlos said, we have grown quicker than we expected. So that comes with challenges where, yeah, the engagement has been a little overwhelming. Perhaps more people coming than we wanted, and then once we do one tournament really well, then that becomes the standard. So we are pushing ourselves and our team to be consistent with what we are delivering for ourselves and for the players and for the communities we are visiting. So every tournament we do, we are striving to make the next one better and better. So hopefully that's true. Sometimes maybe not. We are still learning because we are new. So I think our success has caused challenges. Our ambition is causing challenges. But the team is really solution based to overcome them. So we are having challenging conversations, let's say, between ourselves, but really focused on how to achieve the best for ourselves, for the sport, for the players and the community. So that's really knowing that we all have the same vision and the same goals. That's how we are overcoming them, by keeping focused on that and not being afraid of having some arguments and disagreements, and still having a hug and a smile at the end of it. That's really the way to overcome. And then also, just additionally, is having great clubs like Play Padel who have been so supportive. So Bryan here to represent the club at the moment. I can see Juancho at the back as well. But huge thanks to them, because we cannot come up with every solution ourselves. We are leaning on the clubs and their support and their ideas and their knowledge. So they've been hugely supportive and creative with ideas, and yeah, here in the Philippines, elsewhere in Thailand previously this year. So yeah, plenty of challenges, but plenty of good solutions, I think. So.
Last one, Sir David. How do you envision APPT's role in bridging the gap between the Asia Pacific and the global paddle community?
So bridging the gap between us and the global, I think for the most part, keep doing as we are doing. We started at zero with one tournament, and let's see how it goes. And every tournament we have is good publicity, it's good exposure, it's more people building knowledge of the sorry more people building knowledge of the sport, of the tour, of everything like that. So we just keep doing as we do. More people are starting to know us, more sponsors are coming, which means more investment, which means more opportunity, which means more countries to visit, more clubs to see, more people to know about us. Already, we are starting to receive acknowledgement from associations, companies, federations beyond what we expected. We are starting to get players ranked in the world's top 50, 40, 30, reaching out to say, this is exciting. I've never been to Thailand, I've never been to Philippines, I've never been to Bali. I'd like to visit and win some money whilst I'm there. So this is all great for us, and these are people playing in the global community who want to come and be a part of this, and they are seeing the opportunity that it brings. So yeah, I think keep doing as we're doing. We will slowly attract more and more good players. We have already seen some top players relocate from Europe to Asia to become a part of this. And I think it's building the professionalism of paddle across the region. Philippines a great example of that. The setup here, super professional. And so yeah, we'll do what we do. I think the communities do what they do, and combined, we will make Asia Pacific a really important part of the global paddle scheme. So.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Edwin Rolion from sportstech.ph and Manila Standard. To Carlos Carrillo. Sir, with the APPT as a professional tour in this sports, how many foreign teams are participating, and not all the high-ranked players are coming?
Actually, I don't know exactly in this specific event, but our average in terms of foreign participants, meaning not from the country where the event is done, is usually around 70%. So a lot of players flying over from different places, and it's kind of surprising because you might guess that people are flying from the countries around, but we are having people flying from Middle East, from India, from Australia, from Europe, coming only for the event. So, and this is something that we didn't expect that early because we know we go towards that. But since the beginning, we were having those people, and as David was saying, they even stay and come to live to these countries. Actually, I know in Philippines, some international players, they came and stayed here to live in the Philippines because they see the growth and they can participate. So yeah, around 70% the question of players coming from abroad.
What country are we considered the top seed or the top leader in the tour?
So if we take worldwide, Spanish players, they are still the biggest ones, so the ones top rank. But we want to change this, even though I'm Spanish. I don't want to see that many flags in the top rank. And it's a good question because I think Philippines is quite relevant. In female, is crazy how top rank they are and how great things are doing. And I would say to mention in Asia Pacific, another relevant country is Japan. Japan, I think they don't have a perfect structure internally in the country, but the players individually, they are great players and they rank well.
Okay, thank you. Coach Casao, with the announcement of Mr. Carrillo that we're expecting a tough competition because of the 70% of entries are foreign players, how the Philippine teams motivating with this kind of competition, and what kind of preparation are the team doing in the past weeks or still?
All right. With the national team, we started our official training season last January. So right after the holidays, 2 weeks after the holidays, we started to get the national team getting the condition training that they need, paddle trainings, initial paddle trainings that they have before we start, and also APPT starts last January as well. So we've put into the hours, and then the efforts as well of all the players that we have for the national team So not just for Tawi and then LA over here. So and then the rest of the team are expected to perform. No, not to give them pressure, but yes, you need to perform because All right, so everyone is in shape. Everyone is ready to play. Everybody's excited to play. Even me coaching them on the sides, I'm really excited to be part and to coach these players as well from the time that we started last year competing in the APPT. So I would say our team is ready.
Is Marian Cappadocia is playing?
This tournament, she is not playing.
So walang partner si Miss Yitan, no?
Tawi.
Meron. Actually, she has a new partner for this tournament. So
Kasi I believe sa foreign tour, nanalo yata kay ni Marian, di ba?
yeah.
So, anyway, kay Attorney Gan, Attorney, with this Manila Open, talaga mau-open yung kamalayan ng mga Pilipino sa sports na to. How do you think ang magiging results nito, whatever the results ng pumanalo ang mga Pilipino o hindi? Pero as the sports in general.
So thank you, sir, for that question. We're actually very expectant that this is going to be one of the biggest factors in promoting the sports in the Philippines. And I think a lot of questions earlier were gearing towards how is paddle in the Philippines? How does it look like in the Philippines? Because it's a fairly new sport here in the Philippines, as mentioned by our guests. And as the official Paddle Federation of the Philippines, I would like to actually report to you that it's really doing well. As the NSA, we focus on three main things among many others, and this is actually the vision that was given to us by our founder, Senator Pia S. Cayetano. So right now, she would love to be here in the press conference, but as you all know, the campaign period has already started, and so she is in Bacolod and Dumaguete doing her campaign rallies. So part of her vision is actually to do three things. The first one is to do and implement the nationwide grassroots program. And that's where our coaches, our internationally certified coaches, go to different cities and municipalities all over the Philippines to actually introduce the sport, what the sport is about. And this is actually catered not only to the underprivileged, because when you hear grassroots, you think about the underprivileged, but we do it to all different classes, of societies, and at the same time to all ages, from kids to adults to feeling kids. So we introduced it because, as you know, paddle is a very beginner-friendly sport. So even if you didn't have any sports background, you can actually try and do it, and you'll be surprised to be addicted to it. So that's what we do in our grassroots programs. And right now, we've been to a lot. And part of that grassroots program is Senator Pia Cayetano wants also to make it accessible to most Filipinos. And you know that paddle is not a cheap sport. Sometimes it's actually branded as the sports of the elite because of the price range of how much the court rents are and how much a coach is. But here in Padel Pilipinas, what we do is we also try to build public courts. We coordinate with the local government units. Yes, I'm happy to also present that to you. That we coordinate with the local government units. So they're trying to build public courts in their cities and municipalities, and they will open it to the public. So that's how we want to make it accessible. And as we speak, we are already doing ongoing constructions in different cities and municipalities. Later on, I'll try to pull out my notes so that I can share with you what cities these are. And we're also expanding. Maybe Coach Bryan can say that about Play Paddle. Because as you know, Play Paddle Club is only one of our member clubs in the federation. So we also have different member clubs. One of it actually is the Palm Beach Paddle Club. That's also the member club of the federation. So it's very exciting that two of our member clubs will be hosting an international tournament this year. So aside from grassroots program, we also have the development of our national team. Tawi here is our APPT rank 2, but she got there through her hard work and training. So our national team, including our national team captain, were actually sent to Spain, Europe, particularly in Spain and Portugal, to do their international training. They also had some tournament exposures there, and probably this year we'll also do the same. We'll be sending them to different local and international trainings because we want the global stage to be aware of the presence of the Filipinos because we know that we can make a mark. And Tawi here is a great example of that. Defeating different nationalities from all over Asia Pacific region. So we're very proud of her and also our national team. And last but definitely not the least of what we do here in the Federation as we open the sport to the Filipinos is actually the community building. So the sport, especially if it's new, especially if it's just starting, cannot actually grow without community being built by the different clubs. And that's why we are very grateful to Play Paddle as our partner club, not only for this tournament, but also because they're generous enough to open their courts and give us free court hours. So shout out to our general manager right there, Tuan Sean. They give our national team free court hours so that they can train and prepare for their tournaments. And also at the same time, they take care of our community really well. So they conduct socials, they conduct mini events, mini tournaments when there are no big events that are happening. They also make sure that from beginners, they train them well until they become champions. So that's actually how our community is being built. And the hosting of our national and international tournaments is just one of the many things that our federation does. But of course, it's not something that is to be given little value because as we all know, it's one of the greatest way to promote the sport in the country. Because right now, as the people are watching from their homes, they already are getting curious of what paddle is. So that's, I hope that I answered your questions very comprehensively. Yeah. I think Carlos or David, do you want to actually tell them what's happening for the day one of APPT?
Is this working? It's working. Yeah, it's working. Cool. So we begin tomorrow around lunchtime. So the amateur categories get underway tomorrow. They play the early round, and then the professional categories begin Saturday morning. And they'll play through Saturday, and then the semi-finals and finals are Sunday. So we're expecting to conclude the tournament with the sort of grand finales, the pro female, the pro male, the pro mixed finals, towards sort of middle of the afternoon, late afternoon on Sunday. So there are 6 categories in total. So we have male, female, and mixed for pro and amateur. So 6 categories. All the matches are best of 3 sets. So proper professional long matches, and then that's for all categories, amateur included. If you lose in the first round, there's a consolation draw. So people are still able to showcase their skills even when they lose in the first round. Hopefully no one at this table will experience that. But yeah, I think Sunday will be the sort of the highlight with the highest quality matches where the strongest teams in the competition are left to fight against each other. So yeah, the semi-finals in the morning, and then the finals in the afternoon, maybe featuring. I don't know. It's just me. I'm going with what Bryan said here. So, yeah. So, and that would be awesome. And for us, it's as Carlos said, we have sort of Spanish dominated, which we don't want necessarily in the Asian tour. We're delighted to have these players here, but we want to see the Asian nationalities fighting and being in the main events. So to have some homegrown success in the Filipino tournament with Tawi or LA or any of the other Filipino players playing would be amazing to see them in the latter stages of the competition. And if that happens, we would love to see all the Filipino community that love paddle down here to watch and cheer their team on and celebrate with them win, lose or draw and what will have been a great tournament. So,
Atty. Gan, yung mga games sa Manila APPT, open free sa public? Oo, to watch. Open.
Yeah, the tournament is open for anyone to come and watch. So yeah, as I say, whether it be tomorrow, whenever you've got free time this weekend, or maybe just clear your schedule and put everything else to one side, family, friends, whatever, and come here to play paddle and focus on this event. But yeah, free for anyone to come and watch.
Mr. Maxwell, how do you rate the venue, the court?
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like a great venue. Everything's ready, nice and early, which is awesome. It's been a really professional organization from Juancho, Bryan, and the team here at Play Padel. The two courts over the road was nice to see as well. So they're looking good. So we're excited to see what matches look like there. And that's really good for passers-by. They'll be curious, I'm sure, to see what's going on. And we'll have some cameras up filming the courts and things like that. So that will sort of increase the curiosity. But yeah, I think the courts look great. The players that I've spoken to so far seem happy with how they're playing. So everything is ready for a successful event. So.
Good afternoon. I'm Peter Atensio of Manila Standard. This question goes to Argil. Argil Canizares. Ayun. As team captain, how do you see the development of players from the Philippines in international competitions? How often do you compete with in international competitions for the last 2 years?
Well, last year we competed in the APPT for like 6 times. We joined almost all the international tournaments in the Asia, which is the APPT. And I'm very proud to say how far our Filipino players have come to the international stage. Our players shows good performances last year, especially from the women's category with Tawi and Marian. We've seen players like also in the men's category, Joseph Serra, who has been in the finals several times. It just shows that the Filipino players can compete to the highest level. However, there's always room for improvement, and we're working hard to make sure that our game will elevate more in this year and the upcoming years.
Well, we can accommodate as many as we can. Because last year we've already proved it with our 6 national tournaments. As I think more than 100 players last year, especially with our Padel Pilipinas Open. So that is one of our biggest tournaments yet that we organized. It was 2 weekends with 6 categories as well, and then we have 32 teams, 16 to 32 teams playing on each category. So, well, I'm really confident enough to say that we can accommodate as many as we can. And now with the help of the outdoor courts, the matches now are getting like more of it. Yes, we have 2 outdoor courts, so we can accommodate more people watching, more people playing, and as well our cafe and foods are always ready for our players as well.
We like to think so. I think we are failed paddle players, hence why we are organizing events instead. So we still get to live out the dream in some way. But no, I think Carlos will be playing this weekend. I will not. I'm too busy to focus. Everything goes smoothly, which is why he hired me so he could play. But yeah, no, I will be excited for Monday morning when the tournament is over and I get to come and hit a few balls on a court and try my best to replicate the pros. And yeah, fail to understand why mine never go in. But yeah, we are paddle lovers. That sounds. We are lovers of paddle. Sorry, but yeah, we play when we can, but we are now fully motivated and loving organizing these events and this tour and bringing this amazing sport to more people. So.
Okay, for Miss, how do you say it? Yeah, Shu Ping. Okay, that's right. Okay. What are your expectations in the Manila Open, and how do you see it affecting the growth of the sport in the Philippines?
Actually, this is the first time that Homa sponsor APPT, but in the Europe we have had to sponsor many paddle tour already. Since we have realized as Carlos and that the paddle is becoming more and more popular here in East Asia. And even Homa is a multi-sport brand. We are very focused on football, futsal, tennis, all the other sport. But we think since we are Spanish brand and the paddle has been very popular for many, many years, we have also involved with the paddle for more than a decade. We have a very professional product, so we support to this even with our shoes, rackets, apparel as well. So we want to see as well this sport gaining more and more popularity here. We want to also supporting to the player as well. So we really look forward that this sport can also become one of preferred sport here in Philippines. Thank you.
Just a follow-up question. Do you have a brand endorser, like a player who endorses the brand?
Do you mean here? we are discussing. Do you mean here in Philippines? Yeah, we are already looking for it because so I'm here to see the event and trying to get in touch with potential player because we want to position our brand here in Philippines as a reference pedal brand here. Thank you.
Thank you to our media friends and to our key representatives. Before we proceed to the photo ops, maybe Attorney Jackie would like to invite everyone to support the upcoming APPT Manila Open.
Yeah, before I do that, again, thank you everyone for coming and actually participating in our press conference and asking your questions. This actually helps promote the sport in the country. And also, let me take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank our sponsors. So the official technical sponsor of APPT Manila, JOMA, our official court supplier, Olympia Courts, our official ball head, our official betting partner, DAFA News, our technical sponsors, Tactical Paddle and Alaksan FR from Unilab, our media partners, Sporty Crew Studios, Paddle Agenda, Paddle Spain, and of course, our official tournament venue, Play Paddle. Our other sponsors, Sip Purified Water, Sip Plus Electrolyte Drink, Fishare, the Physical Therapy Center, Marriott International, Umanota Manila, Gameville Ballpark, Palm Beach Paddle Club, A6, the official outfitter of the national team, and Greenfield District and Happy Brew Kombucha. So those are our sponsors. Yeah, we would like, of course, to thank them because without them, this tournament will not be a success. So we would like to invite everyone who is watching from the comforts of their homes to actually join us in this weekend's very intense and exciting tournament, the APPT Manila Open 2025. If you're curious about paddle, this is the perfect time to watch what the sport is because you will be witnessing intense rallies, epic games from different top ranking players all over Asia Pacific region and even from the European region all over the world. Yeah, so we would like to invite you, and if you're curious enough, if you see that it's a fun sport to play, Play Paddle Club, our official tournament venue, will be here to welcome you as you play and start your paddle journey. Thank you, everyone. And from the Padel Pilipinas, the official paddle federation of the Philippines, we thank you and welcome APPT Manila Open 2025. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Jackie Gan. Please take this opportunity to take photos of our panel.
Just to say that on your way out, please take a t-shirt and if you